growing up and just like knowing all of my aunts and uncles and my dad's
Hold on.
and that's one thing that I've always myself is that
Guess what?
You've been talking for 11 minutes and no audio.
It was on mute the whole time.
It was on, and then
It keeps saying it.
It's off again, they said. Ah.
It's because it says that this thing.
So we need a new chord, is what it's saying. How about now?
I can hear y'all again.
If we just don't move.
No one move, breathe.
I'm done. Well, thank you for tuning in. See you tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Hope you got something out of that.
Ah.
But going back to whenever I was 3. Yeah. I'll run it back. Let me wipe these tears away.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it started whenever I was 2. Nah.
You just keep going.
Going younger and younger. Yeah. I've been being dropped on my head.
From the womb. Right out the womb. Oh my
Well, scratch what we just said.
Wow. Okay, wait, let me just recap that.
Let's go back and read the comments.
Yeah. Let's do that.
It's a lot of comments.
Mm-hmm.
It's all.
What?
Yep.
They were all saying no audio, no sound.
And you wasn't saying nothing, Des?
So was it not the comment?
She was ready for us to get to the meditation. That's what it was.
Des, next time you're producing and somebody says no audio, I mean, I'll allow you to go ahead and step in. Go ahead and step in and, just produce a little. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She was all in tune, teary eyed. What happened when you was 3? But yeah, let's hear some comments. I want to hear how far back this started.
David Deere said good morning. Frida Ray said good morning. Good morning, Sarah Coet. And that's when Isaac says, I just see Barry's lips moving, or he could just be pointing around.
Oh my gosh. There we go.
And then Sharon Beard says, Kikadoos. Still no
Kikadoos, Sharon.
audio, but it's always positive.
Yeah, I had no idea. I was over here pouring my heart out.
Gosh.
And then
I don't
Missy
know how I didn't
says,
notice
there
that.
we go. And then Isaac said, just flat cussing around.
Now I am.
That too.
AJ Sativa's 45 days clean today.
Hey, AJ.
Congrats.
Proud of you, man. Keep going.
Mhm.
Over there at Set Free. Tell my sister Sunday I said good morning.
And Isaac says, new lesson, start over.
I know, right? Bring it in. Bring it in. And yeah.
And then Mary Faye says, Kikadoo, starting a new week, recharged from attending Daughters of Traditions training, back to the forefront and ready to go.
Oh, all right. All right.
Week, folks.
Have a blessed
Yes. Have a good day, sister.
man. It was so nice being around all the ladies, and like, it's, you don't think about it, but like you spend a whole week with them.
Yeah, like you get
and then you
attached.
miss them.
Yeah.
Yeah. yeah, I miss like the laughter and all that. That was really fun.
Yeah, everybody. It's cool to be able to connect on that level.
Mhm.
You know, like not like you want to. You know, you're not trying to connect on your life story.
Right.
You know, it's like you're trying to find a way for your community.
Mhm.
So, like, I don't know, like I get a sense of community.
Yeah.
You know, you complete strangers when you get there, but then as the week goes on and you kind of learn a little bit more about each other.
Mhm.
So yeah, I
What
get that.
said, like we're all here and we all have a common goal.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think that's it's beautiful to see that many people in a group that have a common goal.
Definitely.
You know?
And it's never about ourselves.
No.
I mean, but you also heal a part of yourself
Yes.
during the process.
Lots of healing, lots of emotions last week.
Yeah.
too. Someone asked on the comments who I was. Um, I've been on here before. I'm Tatum. I'm the newest to the tour team.
Tour 9. Wait, are we going to be the Tour 10?
No, we're the 9.
Okay.
That is just Tour 9 because we were waiting.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just
So who asked who you?
Yeah.
Who was
Where'd
that?
you see it at?
Where did I?
It was the first one.
Yeah, it's at the very top.
Was it
Probably
JoJo?
between all those,
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Who
Oh,
is the
who's-
guest?
Brian Freejo. That's who asked.
Oh, my brother Brian.
So yeah, I'm Tatum.
Okay, Brian. Yeah. No, Brian's a good guy, man. He's kind of famous around here.
Really?
I mean, Oklahoma native scene.
Mm.
Isn't he like a motivational speaker?
Yes, he's a lot of things, but he's a good bro.
Nice.
You know, he works out there in California and he does a lot of good things for our native people. You know, he goes all over the country. We actually had not yeah, last year called Beats and Blessings,
Really?
where him and his brother, man, his brother's a good cool dude too.
Mhm.
But they put a little program together, or you know, like he's a DJ. That's what Brian does.
What?
He's a DJ, and he went all over the United States, like with this show, Beats and Blessings.
That's awesome.
And it's just bringing, you know, like a sense of wellness and positive thinking, and you know, like he's a real good role model for, you know, he's somebody that I look up to.
Mhm.
So yeah, Brian Freejo is a hell of a brother, man. Thank you for tuning in, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's from Oklahoma, but he lives in California. Good guy, man. He's a good guy.
You meet a lot of like really cool, genuine people in recovery.
For sure.
You know, like you can trust them.
Yeah, yeah. Brian's a good bro, man.
I like that. Nat said Seminole brother.
Yeah, I believe he's Seminole and Pawnee.
Hmm.
I believe. But yeah, he's a good guy, man. I've always heard about him. Like all these, like I remember we went out to see the buffalo, and there's CNA guys walking by the gate, and we pull up to the gate, and he's walking by, and he goes, "Brian Freejo," you know what I mean? Like
You just already knew him.
yeah, like he's like that well known around here. So you know he's out in California doing his thing, man.
Nice.
You know he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Nat said and Pawnee. Okay, do you want me to recap on what, or we just pass that? Completely past that.
You do whatever you want, Tatum.
Okay. What we're doing today is we're going out to do an outreach for the less fortunate, which is why we have our comfy wear on.
Yeah.
today.
Well, this is my everyday.
That's your
show.
everyday, yeah.
Shout out to Dope Sick.
Yeah, that's really nice. I have a Dope Sick hoodie too that I stole
Yeah.
from someone. So, but who is that? Whose brand is that?
He's a big. This is big in California.
Okay.
You know, he sent some shirts with Sunday or with Chad in them.
Mhm.
Chad and Sunday and Toya. You know, they're the ones that put us on to this.
Really?
You know, I would always see in California, you always see these shirts like when you go to an AA meeting or whatever.
Mhm.
Go to, you know, I went to a lot of meetings at the HA, at the Costa Mesa Lano Club, which is a huge meeting.
Mm,
I'm talking hundreds of people.
really?
but like you would see this brand everywhere. So I think he goes and like sets up, and makes this clothing like more accessible to people in recovery.
I like that.
But there's all kinds of recovery brands though.
yeah.
Like you see like I know one here, a guy he has sober livings here in Oklahoma, but he's from California. It's called Hope Fiend.
I haven't seen that one. Yet.
Yeah, it's called Hope Fiend. But you see all kinds of different clothing recovery brands.
Mm-hmm.
But I like this one because, I got a bunch of these shirts.
Yeah.
I got, they showed us a lot of love last time they came. So
Yeah, I like that. I need more like sober merch,
yeah, for sure. Send it to us. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm just kidding. 1950s South Shepherd. I wear 2X. Yeah. No. But yeah, we get to go and like to me it's the front line of for the less fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to call them anything else, and like I was saying before the audio went off is I feel like I am one of them.
Yeah.
Like I always feel like I'm a part of that crowd. I've lost it all too.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, just being acknowledged by somebody used to make my day. So, just hoping to go and, maybe put a smile on somebody's face.
Yeah.
Maybe just the acknowledgement. Like, hey, I see you, where you from?
Mm-hmm.
Do you, like to me, that kind of seems like a far way to be out, on 23rd and MacArthur.
Yeah.
From where usually everyone is, but hopefully we get some good weather. Hopefully we get some good weather, and we'll be able to connect with some people out there.
Yeah.
Because it's not just a native problem;
Right.
it's a human problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hate to think that anybody would feel like they were overlooked because the color of their skin. So I mean, we used to go down with the Homeless Alliance to the courts.
Mm-hmm.
And that was always, I would know a couple of people there. And I feel like I might know a couple of people where we're going. So just being able to, find that connection and make somebody feel like, they are important.
Mm-hmm.
To me that's my goal.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to be able to like change their life right then and there, or
Right.
hopefully somebody will want some help and we can help them take those steps.
Mm-hmm.
So to me that's what it's about today.
Yeah. We're not
I feel
trying to
good.
be like
Yeah,
Superwoman or Superman, but just
be present.
yeah, be present.
Be present and in the moment. I mean, that's, if anything, when you come into sobriety, that's one thing you learn how to do,
Mm-hmm.
is show up for people, and just be present. I mean, sometimes that's all it takes.
You don't know like how much a smile or like a handshake
Definitely.
can like change someone's day, you know what I mean? And that's just like that's just my natural when I'm like walking around places to smile at people. And I get called a flirt all the time for that. Like I'm like, no, I'm truly thinking of like a person's heart, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because obviously I'm not going to just go around giving out hugs and handshakes to anyone, but
yeah,
if I can pass along a smile, why not?
yeah.
And so those are just like small little ways you can show love or make
Definitely.
someone feel like a human being and like they matter. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to today also. I think that it's a blessing.
Yeah, I
Today,
mean,
waking up was a blessing. So
definitely. Gratitude.
Dave
GTA.
said, what time are y'all going to be there and where?
I believe at noon.
Noon, yes.
Noon, we're going to 23rd and MacArthur.
And it's
So-
it's by the second, what did he
Second
say?
Chance.
Thrift store.
Yeah, Second Chance Thrift Store.
Yeah.
So we'll be right down the road from you, Dave. So yeah, we'll be up there around noonish. And while we're there, Southern Plains is also going to be doing some testing. I guess there's been like, be working in like the health field. Um, different things are brought to our attention, that maybe do need to be talked about in a way that we don't ever want there to be stigma or somebody to think that we're just calling them out or pointing them out. But, there has been a rise in STDs, uh, especially in the Native community from ages 40 to 50, which you wouldn't think, but yes, there is a rise. We can't really talk about like numbers or anything as far as, like it's still kind of something that they're trying to figure out a way to combat these types of situations. But I think Southern Plains is doing free testing, and it is syphilis that is on the rise, and they seen a higher rate of cases in Western Oklahoma.
Wow.
So that trickles back this way, and unfortunately, it is the drug related, I don't know what you would want to call it, lifestyle,
Right.
the drug, the drug addicted lifestyle that where they're seeing the rise in syphilis. So we're just trying to bring more awareness. We're gonna go hand out some products, and like just like stigma, we always say, you may not need this, but we all know somebody who could benefit from these products.
Yeah.
So I mean, we rely on secondhand distribution quite a bit when it comes to naloxone. When it comes to maybe sharing resources, or there's just so many different avenues that a person could benefit from. Condoms, Plan Bs, and harm reduction. Basically that's what we're going to be focusing on today is harm reduction. And I can't say it enough, harm reduction saves lives. There's just so many instances where our products have helped out, people in the community across the nation, actually. And I'm very proud to say that. But at the same time, I wish there was more people involved. We're just trying to bring more awareness to the situation of what harm reduction does for a community. And these are uncomfortable conversations to have because most places don't even want to acknowledge that there is a problem.
Right.
So I mean, the more products we can get out into the street, the safer that people can feel. Maybe not about their, like we don't want people to have a death sentence for making a bad decision. We don't want them endangering themselves while not having the clarity that we have today. So there's just so many different scenarios or conversations that I'm looking forward to having. Like I don't feel, we've gotten a lot of flack, I guess you could say, about the products that we hand out the condoms, we hand out the dental dams, we hand out the Plan Bs, and maybe sometimes a kid has gotten these things, but at the same time, I mean, I wish somebody would have gave them to me when I was that age. I'm not gonna lie. You know,
Then you
yeah,
wouldn't have
then I
27
wouldn't.
kids,
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, 27 kids. Yeah, but I got a radio. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
But it's just like it's an uncomfortable conversation.
Mhm.
But you know uh when you're running and gunning, it's just you don't think about those types of things.
Yeah.
You're just trying to make it through the day.
Right.
So I mean, I'm ready to engage with somebody and seeing how I can make these things more destigmatized. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but I mean, uh yeah, we're trying to normalize what it is to have those types of conversations.
Mhm. And I think that was like perfectly said. How you brought everything up, how you were able to talk about it. You know what I mean? Because it is a hard and uncomfortable conversation,
Yeah.
and no matter how much we try to prepare our kids for the world, the reality of the world is stronger than any.
Yeah.
We do plant
Any
seeds.
situation that we plan on.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
so we just have to know, like, because my brothers are getting older, and so my mom is starting to have different conversations with them about
For sure.
different scenarios.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to get to be a part of those with my experience as a teenager.
Yeah.
And as a young adult, as a child, even, like, when my yeah, the schools have those classes and like the little presentations and stuff, but you just don't really understand until you're in that situation to need something, need help. And so I think that that's what we're also trying to say is we have these resources. Let's talk about it and use them.
Definitely. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not even sure who I would have even have listened to.
Hmm.
Like I just honestly didn't think nobody knew my life or understood what I was going through. But it's crazy how history repeats itself.
Yeah.
Like I really see how somebody would have just said, you know what, I've been exactly through what you've been through. But look, this is what I did different.
Hmm.
Maybe then, because we don't know who we're fixing to go meet. We don't know, like, but I don't feel like there's any pressure on um like I don't know, like there's no pressure on maybe just bringing some kind of awareness, like to me that's my goal. Like, hey, think about it. If you want us to come back, we can bring you more products. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, there's just so many different situations where I feel like they maybe just don't know that there's more resources out there available for free,
Right.
than they know about. So,
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to it. I really am.
Me too.
So, is there any comments? How long we been on? I know 11 minutes was just me blabbing and nobody hearing nothing.
Can you scroll down, Des?
Can you get in the game, Des? She's all quiet.
I'm trying to find where y'all left off at. Where'd y'all leave off at?
Des,
Barry.
I can't even see,
I
bro.
think at the
Well, Tatum can.
Yeah, your black aura is
the top,
scaring
scroll up
me.
a little bit, and then Mandy.
Oh, Mandy said, tour project. I really like you guys. Get on here. It really helps my days, especially being so far from here. I think this is a great, happy day, really fun and laugh. It helps the soul. Keep up your good work.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
And
Yeah, Des. I think she's talking to
I'm
Des.
just tired.
Yeah, we're
I'm sorry. I will
perk
lighten
up.
up.
Perk up.
Anessa Madbull says, good morning.
Good morning, sister.
Nat says, I completely agree. Sometimes people need a smile to remind them to smile too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're speaking to you.
Anessa says, I'm a big hugger. Cool.
Hugs are good for
Aw.
the soul.
Good morning, Cassandra. She says, I'm so proud of you all. This outreach is beautiful and makes a difference more than words can even express.
Mado.
Yes.
Dave Levi says, about to pull up on my lunch break.
For sure.
And Nat commented, Robbie. Who's Robbie?
Robbie's the,
Robbie's the syphilis lady.
Oh,
the
okay.
one that Barry was trying to
Yeah.
get Robbie, that he got-
Robbie's the syphilis lady.
Okay.
Big shout out to Robbie from Southern Plains and her syphili.
Anessa Madbull said she'll be there. And Nat said she's taking some harm reduction kits and hygiene kits too, she thinks.
Cool, cool.
Perfect.
Dave Levi said, dang, they said it peaks during powwow season. Better buckle up, Lydell.
The anti-killer. I mean, yeah, the anti-slayer,
Oh my
brother Lydell.
Anessa says, awareness will be mindful. And Carrie says, I got so much rest in this 3-day weekend. It was awesome. Got to do some fishing with my roommates. It was
Hey, all right. Did you catch anything?
Nat says, boots on the ground. This is the truest form of outreach that can be done as a public health advocate. I love
Definitely.
this for you all and the unhoused population that you are all going to engage with today. I love it.
Mado.
Thanks, Nat.
Mado yung maki.
You sound just like her. She'd be proud.
Big old whips.
She's just tearing up right now. No. Oh my gosh.
Carrie says, I ate so much food, I was fat as a tick.
Join the club, bro. Join the club.
Anessa said, can I come help out and support? I live around the
Definitely.
area."
Definitely, sis. Come on, pull up. 23rd and MacArthur at Second Chance thrift store.
Isaac says, new campaign. Don't be like Barry.
No, be like Barry. Go tear it, then share
There you go.
it.
We need a clip of that.
Yeah.
We need that.
Go tear it, then share it.
Nat says, and to be honest, they may not have anyone that has offered help in a truly non-judgmental way.
Definitely.
Support in that way speaks volumes.
Mm.
Mado.
Leanna Thomas says, I gave my kids condoms to get familiar with when they were around 12 or 13 years old. I didn't want them to be sexually active, but wanted them to have resources if they were. Glad you're going out to help the people.
Thank you.
today."
Yeah, Darian tells us all the time about his experiences. You know, read him his mom's comment.
Oh, your mom.
Oh, God.
You can just come over here and read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still had to steal Plan Bs from so the condoms help, but the Plan Bs.
And we told, Leanna, Darian said he had to go steal Plan Bs, but we kept telling him, you can't get pregnant. So I don't know. Chopping them up.
Oh.
Already open? Well, thank you, Leanna, for your harm reduction efforts. That's what, yeah. Yeah.
Good morning, Farah.
Good morning, Farrah. Hope you have a good day, sis.
Nat said something in her language and said, that's all I have to say. Ha ha ha. I don't know how to say it.
Was it?
Is that what you
I
said?
think you just said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That means that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
That's what she just said.
What time? We'll be there around noon.
Yeah.
Noon to 4.
Noon till 4. Are we going to eat before?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna read this meditation.
Okay. Oh yeah. We got a whole meditation to do. Let's go ahead and jump off into it.
Oh my
I
god.
was already ready to end it.
Okay. Today is May 27th. One of the things that the old people taught me about spirits was to never have doubt.
Mm.
Wallace Black Elk, Lakota. The spirit world is sometimes hard to believe in because we can't see it. Our minds convince us to seek proof for everything. We need to believe that an unseen world exists and the unseen world is guided by the principles, laws, and values. If we have doubts, we can pray to the Great Spirit to remove the doubt. He understands how difficult it can be sometimes, so he's always ready to help us during our doubtful times. We are lucky to have such an understanding and helpful Father. Great
Mm.
Spirit, today divorce me from doubt. And I loved that. I read that this morning at
Yeah.
5:30 because no matter how much work you do on yourself, no matter how much healing you do, those thoughts of self-doubt and the negative thoughts, they creep back in.
They don't need your permission.
Yeah. And you have to, let me speak from yeah. I have to know how to deal with those when they come,
Mhm.
you know? And like when we did yoga with the ladies, like we said, I release negative self-talk. I release self-doubt. I release,
Mhm.
and it's okay for that to come. It's just knowing how to deal with it,
Yeah.
you know? And it said the spirit world is sometimes hard to believe in because we can't see it. Our minds convince us to seek proof for everything.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I don't know. This was very special to me because you like relying on the creator for my not only my blessings but my worries and doubts.
Mhm.
Some days that's all I have.
Yeah.
So that's what I have on that.
That's good. I like that. I like the way you put that. You know, when I got up and I read that, I didn't read it till 6. Yeah, 6:15.
I beat you. No, just kidding.
So you have the most amount of sobriety today. But you know, I think about they're always referring to the unseen world, right?
Mhm.
And then uh how do I make that connection between, you know, the laws and the values and the principles? Um I I have trouble making that connection, right?
Mhm.
But what helps me maybe go from point A to point B, sometimes, you know, it's that simple. Like it's simple math, right?
Right.
But in my head, you know, like to get there, like my mind has to go like 1,000 other places sometimes.
It's like a maze.
Yes. And I remember not having any values. I remember not understanding spiritual law or being able to practice principles in all my affairs.
Mhm.
I think about how lost I was in those moments and the way self doubt crept in no matter what I did. It could be like one of my kids' birthdays. I would just like ruin the whole vibe by like, this isn't good enough.
Mhm.
You know, and like see the smile on their face and just happy that I was just able to do something for them.
Yeah.
You know, like it used to mean the world to them, but I'm telling myself like I'm thinking of all the times where I overlooked their birthday because of my own addiction, right?
Mhm.
So like I'm already like, you know, like already like putting myself down. And you know, like my kids still talk about these situations where, you know, like I was just present and that's all that they wanted.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I remember being lost like in a lot of the things that I did and a lot of the self-doubt came in. A lot of the like I would have a chance to be genuine about something, and I would be self-seeking
Mhm.
in those moments. Self-preservation. Like I'm just trying to survive the situation, and you want to talk about being a good person. Like it didn't make sense to me
Right.
until like I got sober. Right, I'm in detox.
Mhm.
I remember waking up that first day, like so relieved, like I was somewhere safe. So relieved that I didn't have to worry about what I was gonna eat that day. I didn't have to like look over my shoulder and worry about, what's going on behind my back.
Mhm.
You know, uh I didn't have to worry about where am I gonna stay at today. I probably just wear out my welcome here.
Yeah.
Like I probably got drunk and was acting a fool, or like I woke up like, and I remember just thinking like, it wasn't like I was just this brute who was just going around, like ruining every situation, like I lived with my brother and his kids,
Mhm.
and I tried my best not to show up there, drunk or high or something. I'd go sleep it off and then come home, and then, it was like that first day waking up, you know, um, I could already feel like a different connection. Like I remember praying the night before and waking up and just like wow, like this is what it feels like. Like I wasn't stressing over anything.
Mhm.
I felt safe. I felt confident that I was where I needed to be.
Yeah.
And the more and more you get into this thing, the more and more you start questioning, the values that you did have. The more and more you start questioning, who you are as a person.
Mhm.
Who did you have to portray yourself as compared to who you actually are? Like where was I, where was I misleading myself?
Right.
Like where, what was, I didn't have this addiction in front of me anymore. I
Mhm.
mean, it's always going to be there, right?
Yeah.
But it's not running my life anymore because, I found a way out of that situation, and I was able to connect the dots then.
Mhm.
I was able to distinguish, right from wrong. Like that's not going to make me feel good, at the cost of somebody else's, like principles.
Yeah.
So it was like once you're able to have a little bit of clarity, and once you start seeing like God showing up in your life in different ways,
Mhm.
like whether it's just being able to smile and say, you know what, I'm gonna try today. Like I'm just gonna try. Like I may not accomplish anything.
Mhm.
I may not making decisions that'll, change the trajectory of my life, but I'm just gonna try.
Yeah. That's all you can do
Don't
sometimes.
even know what that even means. Didn't even know what that even, like what benefit, because I'm already doubting myself. What benefit am I going to get from that?
Mhm.
But I mean, what I found was, you know, uh, being able to keep myself whole and not allowing everybody around me to eat so they can feel better.
Right.
I didn't have to dumb myself down. I didn't have to like lower my standards because, like because it made somebody else feel better,
Mhm.
which I always caught myself doing because, like, and this is one thing I always revert. It's easy to revert back to this for me, but I wonder how long I went without ever having to buy toilet paper. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my gosh.
like, how bad was I stressing?
Uh-huh.
You know, like I'm sure there were situations where I did because because the spot needed toilet paper, but like it just didn't make no sense. Like those are the type of simple situations I my mind goes back to where I can learn how to be grateful for the life that I have today. And I'm present and I'm able to keep making this connection with God, keep growing spiritually. Like that means so much to me today. And whenever you're able to do things spiritually, like like I think about that pyramid of AA,
Mhm.
like where those three things like make a difference in my life. You know, it, it it's such a great feeling, to have that connection with the creator and to be able to put my faith where my fear used to live.
Yes.
You start to believe in something different and it feels good.
Mhm.
So like if it made me feel that much better on like the first couple of days, here I am, 4 years later,
Wow.
like still making those connections, still connecting them dots, still being able to get from point A to point B.
Mhm.
Like I can value what I have today. I can lean on places that I doubt myself.
Mhm.
Like I can lean on the creator now in those places. And anytime, like that's one thing that I've learned about this is that I don't have to do this alone. And the creator is going to keep leading me to where he needs me to be.
Yes.
And I'm
Absolutely.
perfectly okay with that. I'm fine with that. And I've learned to trust the process. And I keep saying this, like I don't feel like he's gonna bring me this far along and just leave me there.
Right.
Like I find myself praying more and more and more, even when things are going good. Even when things are going good, I remember sitting in that sweat yesterday and just thanking him. Like just so grateful, thankful, and appreciative of what he's been able to bring to my life.
Mhm.
And I feel like as long as I hold on to that feeling, um, he's gonna help me stay sober just for today.
Yes.
So that's all I got. So
Beautiful.
I could keep going and going. Yeah.
Me too. I could go off of what you just said. No, I think that being in recovery, I think that God has a hand on our lives now, And just like you said, like we are led. We're being led now. We're
Yeah.
not trying to drive,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't have to no
We are
more.
being led, and I think that that's the beautiful thing about life today.
Yeah. Let go and let God.
I'm grateful for everyone that tuned in.
Yes. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
for your
much.
comments.
We appreciate it. AJ, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're able to find the comfort. Tell my sister Sunday I said good morning. I love her, and I'll be catching up with her soon.
Mhm.
So yeah, shout out to all my California peeps. Shout out to South Coast Behavioral. We appreciate you all tuning in.
Yes.
And that's kind of crazy that first Sunday was my out in California. She was my South Coast connection. Now Dave is like taking her place here in Oklahoma.
Wow.
Like now he's Monday. Yeah. He's more like a Monday.
Yeah. That was perfect.
But yeah, shout out over there, South Coast Behavioral here in Oklahoma. I got mad respect and love for Dave and Dallas and the whole South Coast Behavioral team. It's like there's a lot of natives over there.
Yeah.
So many natives, man. I love that. I love that. That our people are showing up.
Mhm.
So, once again, shout out to all of them. But yeah, thank you for the comments. Like, share, follow. Tell your mammy about us, and we will be back. I'm just happy we got to get on. I don't think I did one at all. Well, no, I did one last week. But any more comments before we go?
Nope, I don't think. Or
Yeah, McKay K says it's so important to have these talks with children. We shame them to think sex is bad or nasty when it's something everyone does. So teaching safety and understanding is vital. We just got to get over ourselves.
I feel like you're just walking into that one, Michaela. So I'm just gonna leave that right there. And thank you for your comment. But yeah, we appreciate all the comments. We appreciate, we enjoy these conversations. Believe it or not, So I guess we will see you. No, it's Women's Wednesday tomorrow. Huh?
oh wow, it's already Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Tomorrow.
See you Thursday for myself. Well, once again, have a good day. I hope.